Shalom and greetings from downloads from our cosmic ancestors. I am back today with a brief message regarding the upcoming school year of 2021 in relation to your kids, our children. Many of us have children that are going to be returning to school this upcoming August, September of 2021, following being either homeschooled or going to school remotely. And this is going to be different because this is going to be a transition after an event, the major event that we experienced in 2021 relating to sicknesses. If you know what I mean without me saying that word. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. And this is the message that I've so far received regarding this directly from our cosmic ancestors. In this reading, and I'm starting from this position because I do like to start off all readings in silence before I start talking. And so I went ahead and pulled these cards. I'm going to be pulling some more. Initially, you're going to see that, first of all, I just also want to say that all things are permissible, and tarot can be another form of a spiritual walks Torah. So but each card can represent a chapter or a book in the book of life. And so that's why we use these as a tool to have a guidance and a frame of reference for conversation with our ancestors and spiritual forces that we cannot understand. Ashe. Okay, so moving forward, first got the Four of Scarabs, and I'm using the Kemetic, the Egyptian tarot today in this part of the reading. So we see here that we have the Four of Scarabs. Next we have Ani reversed. Next we have Seven of Scepters reversed. And then we have Three of Scepters upright. So I'm seeing here that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be overly resistant to the changes that are going to be coming to the next school year. So we are going to be seeing a lot of unforeseen changes that are going to be coming. Whether your children are going back to school in person or continuing remote, there's going to be a lot of involvement, a lot of interceptiveness and protocol implementation that's going to be made place and put in place. And it's going to cause a division amongst a lot of people, a lot of school systems, a lot of parents. So you're going to see a lot of pushback from those who want to be overly in control of protocol, and then the ones who are going to be resistant to change. You're also going to see a lot of pushback from kids and families deciding to opt out of public school. There's going to be a strong exodus of the public school system. You're going to see a lot of people go ahead and do homeschooling formally and take their kids out of the public school system because they don't agree with some of the things that are going to be taking place. And this is not necessarily going to be favorable for all. I'm seeing that in the next card. You're going to see a lot of parents and a lot of guardians of children who aren't going to be prepared for that journey of having to be the sole responsibility and the providers for their children's education, as far as those who decide to withdraw from the public school system due to the changes that are going to be taking place. And these changes are going to be pretty abrupt, so that's going to cause a lot of the reason why a lot of these parents are going to have a sense of unpreparedness. They're not going to be fully equipped to do what needs to be done regarding their child's safety and education. And this is not strictly just about their education, it's about their spiritual well-being, because at the end of the day, this whole circumstance, we're fighting weapons that are not flesh and blood, they're not carnal, but they're spiritual forces and wickedness in high places. So this is a cosmic level battle that we're dealing with when it relates to these changes and the stuff that's going on in the world right now that is causing some of this all this chaos in the world. So you're going to see a lot of people who do this mass exodus again. They're going to be a mass exodus from pulling their children out of mainstream schools, pulling their children out of the public school system, but yet not being fully equipped to carry them along through everything they need to do on a spiritual basis and on an education basis, and with all the protocols and the changes that are going to be taking place related to the changes due to the sickness in those challenge areas. Next, we have the Seven of Scepters. I'm seeing again, it's going to be that same spirit where we're going to be trying to protect and withhold what we have, withhold the past, withhold our possessions, we're going to be trying to hold on to how things were and still want to have things go back to normal when that's not going to be an option anymore. And once again, we're going to be I'm speaking to the leaders of the household, the leaders of the family, the parents, the guardians of the children. You are going to be put in a place where you're going to have even more of a guardianship possession. A guardianship role when you take on the responsibility of pulling your kids out of public schools, and you're going to have a very systematic system that's going to be set against you, that's been really thought out from day one, and it's going to cause a lot of challenges and you're going to be creating a lot of adversaries. You're going to be hitting a lot of institutional adversaries head to head, straightforward, one-on-one, when you make this decision to be the sole guardianship over your children's education, spiritual life, and well-being. But I am seeing that with these decisions that are made, not only is the journey going to be fully difficult, but the adversary's system is fully thought out up to the 7th level. And whereas the people who are making these decisions are going to be acting a bit rash in a way. However, I am seeing that there is going to be hope as long as you are able to endure further and further to the end. There's going to be a lot of people who give up, and they're going to succumb to the changes in the protocols and the things that are set in place, whether it's by the CDC or any higher authority. They're going to end up succumbing to these changes and therefore withdrawing, knowing that they are kind of close to the end, but still going ahead and withdrawing to the protocols that they feel go against their ethical standards of their own belief system. And a lot of it is going to be because of a lack of preparation. The preparation part is going to be the foundational deciding factor whether or not you're going to be withstanding the systematic protocols placed and the changes that will be made regarding public schools and your child's well-being. So let me go ahead and continue with the reading. So our ancestors, we want to continue to know anything that we should know, anything that can help us have a positive decision-making prospect with the situation that we're going to be presented. Thank you for giving us this information. We want to further know and further clarify about what changes are actually going to be. We have some more insight on it now. And now we are looking to know anything else you might want us to know about what is to come, what's going to happen, what we should do in response. Ashe. Okay, so now we got Tahuti. So with Tahuti, we know that he is the god of thought, or the god of writing, the god of knowledge. We're going to really have to depend on our spiritual eyes, not our physical eyes, but our spiritual eyes at this point, because it's going to only be those who can endure to the end that will safely make it through this lesson. Because a lot of what's going to be taking place in 2021 is going to be a karmic lesson that people are going to be learning collectively. And with this collective learning, we are going to have to collectively progress and evolve. So we're going to have to go back to our ancient knowledge. We're going to have to connect with our guides, our spiritual guides, our natural forces, our old wisdom sources, our ancient ancestors. We're going to have to connect with people above us to help us through this. Okay, and now I'm seeing Two of Swords reverse. Okay, Two of Swords reverse. So I'm seeing with this, there's going to be a lot, since we're going to be in the divine female energy for this next season, there's going to be a lot of struggle between the female force and the male, the masculine and the female energies. But if we're not operating under the guidance of our ancestors and our ancient wisdom, if we don't have a foundational source of our spirituality, then we're going to have the dynamics of the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies causing a lot of domestic situations. It's going to cause bad environments for our children and our households in general. And that's going to be an issue because you're already going to be in a lot of stress, which we know due to this reversed, which we got earlier, the Seven of Scepters. We're already going to be carrying a lot of stress. We're already going to be fighting a systematic, or organized systematic spiritual battle for the minds of our children and the well-being of our children. And then on top of it, we're going to have to learn how to balance these divine masculine and these divine feminine energies, being that we are in the divine feminine energy in this time going forth. Therefore, this is why we need to have connection with our ancestors, connecting with our ancient texts, connecting our ancient abilities, bringing them online, and using this as a foundation to help guide us, because most of the challenges we are experiencing are a spiritual battle. It's a thing of the spirit. But we have things in our favor, meaning gifts, talents, and abilities in our favor that will help us through this and help us strengthen our children if we bring them up in the way that they should go. So I'm seeing that we need to be mindful of the divine female energy that we are going to be in this age of Aquarius in 2021. Extrapolate that with the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies in each household, and keep that in mind to prevent any altercations among the Godhead and the parents and the guardians in the household, so we don't add more stress to our environment. And that we keep in mind of who our real enemy is, instead of sitting there acting like we are blind and we're fighting amongst each other. Left and right hands fighting against each other, blind to who the real enemy is. And I'm hearing that very strongly. There's going to be an imbalance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine that's going to cause a lot of altercations within households, within baby daddy and baby mamas, keeping us blind to who the real adversary, who the real enemy is in these positions. Real enemy is going to be the system, the organized system that has come to challenge the well-being of the children and the minds of the children. So we need to be mindful of that. Thank you, cosmic ancestors. Thank you for giving us insight on that. Is there anything else that we should directly know as it relates to our children in this upcoming season in 2021 when they will be returning to school? Anything that we should know regarding this? Any precautions that we should take? Anything you want to know to tell us? Okay, and here we have the Five of Swords reversed. Okay, so with this card, I'm hearing that there is going to be some, not all battles are going to be mandatory and applicable to everyone. So we have to know our position and know where we stand with certain things to avoid unnecessary battles. And this is going to go across all hierarchies. It doesn't matter if you're middle income, middle class, low income, rich, poor, whatever. Not all battles are going to be applicable to you because this is a battle that's rooted in the spirit. It's a spiritual battle. So it doesn't have any respect of persons. But that doesn't mean that it's going to pertain and be relevant to you either. So it's going to have a lot to do with perspective. Pick your battles wisely. Know who you are and know when something is going to pertain to you or not as it relates to your kids. So that means, in addition specifically to the children and the future school year, we need to be aware of unnecessary battles and pick them wisely. Keep that in mind, because this is going to, I'm hearing this is actually going to be a deal breaker in a way for some people, because they're going to be creating a lot of illusionary events. They're going to lead people astray, and if you get caught up in the wrong battle, then you will be at risk of being lost. So that's very, very important. Anything else? Get her juice for her out of the refrigerator, please. It's in the door of the fridge. Anything else we need to know regarding this? I'm probably going to just draw. I'm hearing that it's close to being done now. And here, okay, interesting. We have almond raw reverse. Thank you, baby. Almond raw reversed. It's in the door of the fridge, baby, in the door. So, almond raw reversed. We're going to have to be very careful about who we let advise and teach our children. And this is going to primarily go for those who continue to keep their children in the public school system, I'm hearing. Yes, this is particularly for those who continue to stay in the public school system. You're going to have to be very mindful about who is around, who is spending time with your kids and teaching them. And the biggest predators are going to be the ones that are at their school. But it's not going to be so much about the actual people. It's going to be the entities and the spirit that's around them. I'm hearing a lot of words to have to do with stuff that I can't say, like the taught. I'm gonna call that. A lot of people who get that are going to be influenced by another spirit that can shed and rub off and cause problems for those that are around them. A lot of young children will be in rooms surrounded by adults and other people who will be full of this cocktail, and is going to have adversary effects to them. So they need to be careful about the system. Again, it's the system we're fighting, the spiritual system that's been intelligently designed and put in place. And you're going to see it manifest the most in schools. Okay, so let's cap that with one cosmic card. Let's pull one of these cosmic cards to end on a positive note and get guidance. And with these cards, I don't read reversals. They're all upright. So if it gets something was reversed, then don't mind me when I read it normally, because I do not read reversals in these cosmic cards. Split. Okay. Let's see what we have. And we have this one, we have Be Still. So here, this is just more confirmation that goes with picking your battles, realizing that not all the fights and the battles that you see that's going to be transpiring regarding your children's well-being are going to be your battle to fight. So we need to recognize when something is a distraction and recognize when it's something that we need to actually be reacting and paying to. So find comfort that we are being advised to keep watching, keep analyzing what's going on, but don't be quick to react when certain battles start taking place. So please do rewatch this video to get a more thorough understanding of what the ancestors are saying regarding this matter if you have young children. And if you like this format of reading, please give this a thumbs up if you liked it. And I will be sure to make more videos like this in the future. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you find value in this message. And I hope that you have a good new year when it comes to your school decision. And here we have in our last cosmic deck, Truth. See your light, know your power, have the courage to walk your path. So I end this message on this. And with that, I say shalom. I'll see you in the next video.